Yeah, man. While we relax to the tired raps, and if I had tracks that a nigga tell my life. I'm trying to add more music to the queue, man. I don't know what happened, but all the music that I had, um, it's like not in there. So then I'm trying to put some music in the queue so the people listening to track radio got something that they can do. Ooh, that was terrible. God, can you believe that I used to make music? God, when I listen to that shit, sometimes I'll be like, yo, man, it's terrible. But I genuinely feel, and I said this on my podcast the other day, on one of my records, I genuinely think that I have a top 1,500 verse all time. Easy. I like them girls between the sheets. I like them girls like stuff like me. Yo, that was the cut back in the day. I'm definitely putting that on there. Shout out to Tyrese. But I don't understand why my man showed up to George Floyd's funeral dressed like a Black Panther. Tyrese, listen, I waited like a week or as long as I could to say something, but I genuinely feel like anytime something crazy kick off, Tyrese always has to do something extra. And I think for brief moments in time, his heart is in the right place when it comes to these types of things. But I also feel like he low-key is looking for a way to kind of get his shine on. My man showed up to the funeral dressed like a Black Panther. Tyrese, I was done with you, bro. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. Like I said, this is a classic record, but my man is very extra. And sometimes I just wish he would just not. Just don't do it, bro. Please stop. Anyway, I was going to put my eye drops in and then put my glasses back on, which will probably help me see this a little bit better, but I don't know, man. I feel like, what are they? They're listening to Mariah Carey Side Effects. Wow. I'm a little bit shocked I let Mariah Carey lead off the show. Let's put this Eminem record on there. You know, I be forgetting that Eminem and Rihanna have like what people deem as hit songs. Like technically like classic records. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think either of those songs are any good. I think if anyone was to be like the albums that those songs are on, if someone was to be like, yo, maybe these albums weren't that good, I'd be like, yeah, it's because of those records with Rihanna, right? And not because of her, not because of him. I just don't feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's a song for either of them to do. Like that belonged to somebody else. Don't mind me, I'm like a 6-year-old when it comes to putting in my eye drops. You know, whatever these are, Roto Ice. Fire! I'm telling you, man. It feels like, you know how when you get like a peppermint patty, those York peppermint patties, and you bite into that, and you feel refreshed? That's how it feels on your eyeballs. But yeah, I just genuinely, I don't like that. I don't like those records. But at the same time, I can see why other people like them. I've definitely heard worse music. But, we're going to play Eminem Rock Bottom tonight. Just for anybody that's really out here struggling due to coronavirus. And now, if people are really struggling because they're Black, which that's every day, but things are wild, man. So you obviously know where we're getting into the current state of America, which is this shit is ghetto. Damn, what do I want to play tonight? I wish this thing would actually, like, the program that I use, it's not a bad program, but for some reason, when it's connecting to my iTunes, it won't register that I have so many more songs to choose from on my thing. And so I don't really get to jam a lot of the music that I listen to on a daily basis. So I'm playing what I still think are good songs, but it's not really stuff that like I'm not in the mood to listen to none of this right now. I will put this on here. Girl, I'll trade it all, money, cars, and everything. Nah, no. Uh, you know, I've had this cup for some years. I figured I would I would use this today when I drink my tea. I feel like now today I am going to talk about how I got a bike today. For some of you might be thinking, oh, big effing deal, buddy, you got a bike. Welcome to the real world. Fam, I'm going to tell you why I haven't owned a bike since I was in college, since my early 20s. It involves me getting hit by a car. So, I feel like I have maybe told this story before, but I'm going to tell you the significance about today, me getting a bike. This is a big deal. And you know what's crazy is this. That time when that happened was in the month of June. And so, now I'm welcoming myself back to the bike world. I'm genuinely afraid I'm going to get hit by a car within the first week. I'll be shocked if I make it past the first week without getting hit by a car. I'm just going to say that. It's time to intro the show, and then we're going to get into my new bike. I'm super excited. Let's see. Oh, my man James Gatlin. What up, James? James is in the building. All right, let me stop the music, man. Welcome to the Meaningful Jackson Show. We're live on Track Talk Radio, as well as live on YouTube, man. Shout out to my man James Gatlin. That's my brother. Still back home, man. I wish he would have moved out west, man. We'd be tearing it up, man. But shout out to my man. We worked. James and I worked at this place called Medical Records Express in Pensacola, Florida. We for a minute we were like the only two guys that worked there, a bunch of girls, and then my man Bill, shout out to Bill, and there's a couple other people, but a lot of those people were suckers. But yeah, we used to tear that up. I feel like I was just telling somebody the other day when we used to have potlucks at the job. Me and James for years, we found a way to finesse the potluck, and we never had to bring food because I would bring the tea and my man would bring the Hawaiian rolls, and our boss Lisa loved us. We would work hard. We were hard workers. You know what I'm saying? And Lisa wanted to take care of us, so she just always made it to where we didn't have to cook nothing. You know how? Okay, so this is how I was telling the story. So James, I was enjoying some spinach dip, and then I was telling my friend Markel that Lisa used to make this spinach dip for those potlucks. That shit was slapping. And then I remember how we was finessing those potlucks, yo, man. So shout out to my man. Yeah, man. James and I, we've been laughing at a lot of these videos on Twitter, videos of racist people getting knocked out, which is always funny. And so when James and I first met, one of the things that James told me, and James, feel free to correct me in the chat if I get this wrong, but James is some type of like black belt, I think, or he has once in his life studied martial arts, so he could probably kick your head off if he want to. But he's a very calm brother, really nice, respectable. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's my man, so we always would make these jokes about how if forever had to kick off violently, we would have to hit people with the Van Daminator. And so when I've been watching these videos, I'm literally waiting for the one video that's going to showcase the move that I feel like we have just had locked and loaded, ready for somebody for some years. And it's for the culture, like my man said in the chat. Shout out to my man James. Hey, yo, hold up. Let me operate this real quick. Say what's up in the chat. But yeah, everything for the culture now. So I sent all of these little compilation videos out of people getting knocked out, and everybody loved them. Like when you think about giving gifts to people, like when you know you want to make people smile, right now the perfect way to do that for a lot of your friends is to send them videos of racist people getting knocked out. Because if you are stressed and upset due to the like everything that is happening, there's nothing better than seeing some of these people get their freaking teeth knocked out. I mean, and not literally. I didn't see a video where someone actually got their teeth knocked out, but I don't mind watching people get their head kicked off their shoulders for talking reckless in public. But yo, that's super funny. But yeah, man, shout out to my man James. James was there when I quit MRE. And you know what? I always felt bad because shout out to Lisa Touchton. Lisa was always good to me. I love Lisa. I still do. Her and I had hashed this out some years ago. So I feel like we cool. But I always apologize. But, you know, I owe a lot to Lisa because Lisa really, like, helped me take, you know, my life was in a certain place at the time. You know, she gave me an opportunity at the job, and then she kind of helped me, like, take my life to the next level. But the one thing, and I really appreciate her for that, Lisa. If you ever see this, shout out to you. James is watching, so he can tell you. I always want to say I appreciate you, but the way I quit the job it was wild. It's funny now, but it's not. Hey, my sister's in the chat. Gab, what's cracking, man? Yo, Gabby, I was talking about you on the show a couple weeks ago, but anyway, but the way I quit MRE was so crazy. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see this, I'm gonna tell you a way not to quit a job. But if you're also looking at ways to burn bridges quick, this is also a story for you. So we always had these people in there that I felt like was trying to. He said it was epic. Listen, man. Yeah, I have a temper. My shit is cooled down now because I'm old. And I wasn't even, this is only like 5 years ago at this point. It's not even that long ago. But 5 years ago, I was a different brother. I was still black as hell, still wild, still, you know, my mouth was just always out of control, always just talking reckless. But Lisa, I felt, listen, I'm gonna say Lisa was doing her job, but we used to get these people from the temp agencies, and some of them were suckers. Some of them used to try to like play games at the job, and like they sucked at their job, but they didn't want to get in trouble, and so they were trying to play me. And James could tell you, I knew what I was doing. I worked my way up. Listen, Lisa brought me in just to organize records that was in boxes in the back. My first couple days, I sat on a bucket in the back warehouse, sweating my ass off. They offered me a chair, and they was offering me food all the time. They love me in there. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying it like they had me in there like treating me bad. No, they love me in there. But I moved on up. Lisa should have had my back. I had already been telling my man Doug that I was looking for a change, ready to move. I had visited Seattle a couple times on vacation. And so the second time I came back, I came back in like October. And so I maybe made it until this was like December. What was it? It was like December 15th or something like that. Ended up being like my last day. This is like right before like our Christmas party and shit like that. And we work for a law firm, people. This wasn't like this ain't us like or me quitting the freaking Wendy's. Like we had a good job. But I knew that I was gonna move. And so I had checked in with my man. He was like, yeah, we're gonna find a way, he gonna make some calls for me, get some things set up, line me up a job. And then when I got the call, I went in the next day, and then it just felt like Lisa was like kind of on that bullshit. And I now looking back on it, she probably wasn't. But you know what? You know what? I love you, Lisa. But you tried me that day, fam. So I end up spazzing out. It was. I was kind of upset. I was cussing her out a little bit because she was, I listened, and I told y'all on this show before how my ex-girlfriend who slapped me at the club ended up getting hired at this place. I told y'all, and it was a complete accident. I didn't get her that damn job. She got lucky she got hired. And they, people end up becoming friends. You see how, listen, they were all acting funny. And I understand your environment can change you. At that time, there was only about 3 or 4 people in that month keeping it real. Me, James, Yana, and Malin. I'm telling you, James, we know our people. At least Yana was cool. Everybody else was being funny, man. I mean, there was some other people in there that was cool, but for the most part, people was being funny. So I went in there and I just was spazzing out. They didn't like that, man. What did he say? He said, "Okay, all of us sat down on a chair." Oh yeah. I went in there and I quit, and I was hyped up, man. I went in there. I told Jan, I was like, "Bro, I'm out of here, bro." But listen, man. I was in that mode because I knew when that happened, I knew that my time in Florida was done. And a month later, I ended up being in Seattle. And this is where I've been ever since then. That's 5 years. A little over 5 years, which is crazy. But yeah, man, shout out to Lisa. Lisa took it like a G too. She literally let me sit there, and she said some things back to me, but she didn't like get out of hand or nothing. She let me say what I wanted. And then when I said that I quit, I think she was shocked. I think because she knew me. She knew who I was. So she was used to kind of seeing me get like turned up. So she knew that I was just mad. But when I quit, I don't think she thought that I was being for real. And then I think when I left, then it was real. And when I didn't come back, it was real. But shout out to my man James. James, I think James said he went back. They needed him. That place started after I left and everybody. And then listen, when James tried to leave, Lisa, no, they needed him. That's half of Prestige Worldwide, baby. They needed him. Shout out to my man. You know what, James? I'm gonna tell you like this, since you're listening. I don't know what Justin's been doing, but listen. I've been working out every single day, and I feel like my speed is up, my guy. Up. Tell your man I'm out in Seattle if you wanna race. There's only one condition. I need a 25-yard head start. But I feel like I have burners again. Like back to the old days where like if I needed to run somebody down on the court, on the field, easy work. I'm feeling good. What's my sister doing? I don't know what she's talking about. So I got fired 3 days into that job. Yo, that job was crazy, man. Shout out to MRE. Thinking about the people that I know from that job, some of the people we've seen. You know what's crazy? There were some people that worked there in the beginning, and I think this was right when James started. James, you remember when we worked with those two sisters? And remember when they tried to get me fired because I had purchased a firearm, and me and my boy Dan, we used to like buy, sell, and collect them, and so we would flip them. And so I had like posted one, or I said, hey, look at my new piece or something like that. And what these girls did is the one girl didn't like me because she used to train everybody at our job. And then Lisa was kind of like, nah, fam, you're whack. They started beefing over something. And I think they used to be kind of cool, and then maybe they had a falling out or something. I don't know, something happened. But Lisa was like, we're going to let Nick do it. And so like when the group that came in with James and all those people came in, I trained all of them. And I don't think old girl liked that. And so what her and this other girl did at the job is they went to Lisa and they tried to say that they were in fear for their lives. They thought I was going to come to the job and do something. Fam, stop. Stop it. Listen, I know that I'm crazy, but I'm not an idiot. I'm too lazy to want to do any of that. You have to know that the day you pull back up to your job or an old job and then you do something crazy like that, your whole life is over. I'm not ready to go wear an orange jumpsuit and eat food off those little plastic trays, potentially get my ass whooped with one of those trays. I'm not trying to do none of that. So I have no desire to come for you. But anyway, these girls tried to do this shit. And obviously, like I said, Lisa loved me. So of course, they actually end up finessing themselves out of a job, trying to get me fired, got them fired. And I told her straight up, I'm like, yo, fam, I'm like, this on my own time. I'm like, me and my man, we collect these, we buy them, we sell them, we flip them. How you think I'm getting money? I was barely even getting money. I'm still broke now. Shit. Trying to get me fired. Fuck out of here. Yo. Yeah. Look at James, remember? Yeah, Kim and Alex. Yeah, that's what their names were, Kim and Alex. And you know what's crazy? Me and Kim was cool when I first started there. She actually trained me. And she was one of the few black girls that worked there. I loved her. She was super dope. I don't know why she like turned funny. Like, lady, I didn't even really want your job. If anything, and James can attest to this, he's seen the stress that I was under training all those fucking people. I didn't want to do that shit. That's why I loved it when I went to just reviewing records. See, my attitude got me demoted from my little supervisor position. So Lisa tried to put somebody else on it. But you know what happened? The freaking job wasn't getting done. And then so after a while, you know, I got demoted to JV for a little bit, and then they brought me back up to varsity. We had to get these victories. Yeah, yo, James, my man, I still, even up until about like a year ago, I still had the sticky notes all over the place. That's just how I work, man. But listen, that shit's efficient. We got it done. We was in there looking like stars, man. But yeah, those girls tried to get me fired. I don't even know why, man. I was like, lady, I didn't want your job. You just wasn't doing a good job. Like, yeah, it was crazy. And then I remember seeing her at the mall after the fact. And she gave me some like wild ass look. And I kind of just laughed it off because I'm like, yo, fam, you still hurt? You hurt over a job? Like, it was cool, but like, it's not like we did. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it wasn't no like CEO shit. Like, we wasn't CEOs or nothing like that. Like, well, why are we so mad? Fuck. Exactly. When Lisa needed stuff done, she came to Prestige Worldwide, which was me and James. One of our favorite movies is Step Brothers. So that was our nickname at work. And that's how everybody recognized us. So when they needed stuff done, they came to us. We just get it done. Yo, who is I'm on here telling work stories because listen, man, I'm trying to keep the mood light. I'm also thinking of a time where at this old job, we had moved. We used to be like on this little back street, and then we were beginning to transition to move across the street to another building. And then there was one day I think I was at the new building doing something, and I went back to the old building right before I went home. And so you're literally just crossing a street. It's like you're maybe only going 10, 15 miles an hour, not going fast at all. And some dude, and I used to drive this little small Honda. So my little Honda Civic, that was Gus. My new car is Gus Jr., you know? And so when I was driving Gus, some redneck in this pickup truck, he got upset. He like went to cut me off. We're on like a small road. My man got mad. He started yelling out the window, calling me the N-word, like acting so crazy. It's like right by the job. So I get out the car and I cuss at him. I say, come back over here or some bullshit like that. And he stopped the truck. And I was like, yes. And that was always one of my problems. Still kind of is. I'll be like, when I tell him and when they actually do it, I was like, oh yes, he's going to come back. He's going to walk up. I'm going to strike him. And I was going to give him that Van Daminator, boy. It was coming. And then my man, he came back and he didn't want to roll down the window and then he peeled off. Sucker shit. So my point is all these people are suckers. I hate it. You remember when they had us in that big run downtown? Lisa told us that we could rope off our parking lot. Yo, we were some savages. Yeah, what were they doing? They did back in Pensacola where our job was, they have this place called McGuire's. So if you ever make it out to Pensacola, Florida, they have this Irish pub called McGuire's. It's pretty famous. A lot of people go there. I don't know what things are looking like now due to pandemic and all that, but at one point or another, this was like a big main attraction for the city of Pensacola. And it was right by where our job was. And so me and James, we used to work on Saturdays sometimes. And so one day we was cracking jokes. We told Lisa, we were like, yo, since they send out like memos to all the businesses and say, hey, like if you don't want people parking in your parking lot, make sure you block it off or do whatever, because when they do this like 5K or 10K or 27K, I don't know, however long white folks be wanting to jog for, when they do that 100K run, they want to block it off and make sure that there's room for everybody. And so me and James was like, yo, why we try to make some extra money? So we asked Lisa, like, yo, can we just block this off and just charge for parking? And it was weird because Lisa was kind of gangster with it. She would, like, all our little hustle ideas, she was always like, yeah, go ahead and do that. I don't know. I wonder if we would have actually done this stuff, what would have happened? I don't know. Lisa always used to tell us all the time about how, like, when she was in high school, she used to run phase with people at school. her and all the black girls at school, they used to fight people. Yo, she would have us dying, bro. Yeah. Wonderful lady. Her and her family, always good people, man. I remember her husband fixed my Honda. Rudy was my Honda. Rudy sucked. Never fucking worked. But I always had the jankiest cars. I'm telling you, I've been broke my whole life, bro. I barely was making it. But people like Lisa helped me out of that shit. So like I said, she really helped change my life. And even that one day I was cussing her out. Sorry about that, Lisa. That was a life-changing day because I knew it was time to take next steps. And then I ended up out here. Shit, now we 5 years later. Now we can laugh about these things. Well, me and James can. I don't know if Lisa be laughing, but I'm laughing. Okay, so tell me why we worked with this girl. So when I first started, there was this girl named Tanya, and Tanya worked there. So you know how if you follow my Instagram and you see the memes I post, I do from time to time. I post memes about girls having pancake asses. And there's nothing wrong with it because, people come, listen, you come how you come. There's nothing you can do about that. And that's what she said. Sorry. But this girl, if say there was ass started at 0 and then worked its way up, she was in the negatives. It was legs and back. So early in the time I worked with her, and listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I only did this to her because this girl always had an attitude. James can put it in the chat. She always had an attitude. I did not go out of my way to do this to her. But listen, if you're gonna try to throw shade and be disrespectful, then the way that I can get back at you is with some comedy, a little bit of roasting. And if you end up with an unfortunate nickname, that's just your fate. So I started calling her Back Crack. And we all had a good kick out of that at work. And so, yo, yeah, she didn't like this one kid, Austin, and Austin got hired because I guess Lisa knew him or something. They went to church together. I don't know. Austin was an oddly shaped guy. He literally was shaped like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. He didn't talk like that, thank God. But my man Austin, Tanya didn't like him, and she didn't really like me. But you know what? Karma always will come back to get you. So before I end up leaving, a little bit before I leave, Tanya ends up leaving because apparently for some time she had been embezzling from the company we worked for, like literally using her company card to buy her. And listen, this girl was somebody who was always and forever searching for love. And so for the first couple years that we knew her, she couldn't get a boyfriend to save her life. Listen, she was not a pleasant girl. She was very rude. She was so if you ever seen Batman Returns, bro, she literally is shaped like Danny DeVito. Listen, I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro. So let me stop. She was very miserable, very unpleasant, and so we had to snap on her a little bit. Everybody did. It was not just me. Listen, and I don't care what anybody says. I've literally stood in the room with people that worked at that job who was acting like they was her best friend, who said some of these exact same things that I'm saying to y'all right now. But anyway, Tanya ends up getting called out because she's embezzling from the company. So we got this place back in the South called Whataburger. Whataburger slapping. Shout out to Whataburger. My mom used to work for Whataburger Corporate. Some of the best. It's like the best, like top of the line fast food that you can get, right? I remember them telling us that Tanya was like getting Whataburger, Waffle House, and Pizza Hut. Like we're talking about feeding armies worth of people. But this is just for her man, and their, like, I think she had a son or something like that. And then I think her dude had a kid, maybe. It's like the four of them, but they're like literally over there eating like the clumps. Shit was crazy, bro. So like I said, Karma came back to get her. All that shit she used to talk to me and James and me and Austin, all these people. Yeah, man. It was real close quarters too. I remember when we was at the old building, we all just had, this was like the craziest shit. We all literally just had different types of desks and they were just mashed together like the world's worst puzzle. And you just kind of ended up sitting next to people. And then we ended up getting like, I remember we had cubicles. And so when me and James started out, we was in cubicle. We moved up to desk mode. Oh, we was brand new niggas then. Oh my God. Had the desk, my G. Oh my God. Killing it. But yeah, that's fun times, man. Shout out to Back Crack. God. James, how was it when you saw her? Like, what was it like? Did you talk to her? Did y'all exchange pleasantries? Back Crack will rise again. Oh, son of a. Yeah, shout out to my sister visualizing the penguin. That's exactly what it was like. He said, yo, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all that you would see her out and that she wouldn't say anything to you. She's an asshole. But I will also say this though. There was one time when I had finally had enough of Tanya. And she kind of had that rep of like nobody ever wanted to stand up to her. Like I said, Kim and Alex tried to get me fired, but they didn't even want to stand up to Tanya. You would try to hold down a brother, but not stand up to that dust bunny? Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. No one wanted to stand up to her. One day I had enough of her shit and I kept it real. And I called her out in front of the whole job. And I remember Lisa just like, I could tell she was upset that I was doing that at work, but she was like literally behind the girl laughing because she knew it was real. And I was finally checking her and like showing her who she was, that she was some annoying, loudmouth, I'm gonna just keep it short, loudmouth, punk ass BAN. That's what she was, man, getting on my damn nerves. And I know I was getting on people's nerves too, but she was really on my damn nerves. All right, anyway, man, enough reminiscing. James, you should have gave her the Van Daminator, my brother. Let her know we was not playing. You should have said, this is for Nick. Hiya. That'd be crazy as shit, though. Could you imagine working with somebody you end up kind of beefing with, and then you see them like years later, and then y'all end up having a scuffle? God, you know how crazy that would be? And think about how crazy it would be if one of you is in law enforcement and has partners, and you end up killing the guy. One of these jokers is actually out on bail. I heard the bail was paid for with donations. People donated to shit. I hope we kick his ass for the culture. And the only reason he got out because he cut a deal. He's a sucker. Shit is crazy, man. I saw a video today where it's like 5 or 6 kids that look like they're maybe like in between 14 to 17 years old, no older than that. I guess they took a shortcut from like where this gas station is or like to this park or somewhere where they were going through a neighborhood, minding their own business, something that everybody uses all the time, which is, the information that, bystanders were providing on the video when they were screaming at the police. But literally when the video crank on, it's the cops holding them at gunpoint, or a cop holding them all at gunpoint. Little kids. All because they're walking through a trail. That shit is so crazy. It's a grown ass man pulling a gun on some kids. I have worked with kids of all ages since I was 16 years old. I have never one time in my life had to pull a firearm or a weapon of any kind on a child in order to gain compliance. Please help me to understand why a cop needs to do that. The whole time I'm watching the video, lately when I watch these videos, I'm always putting myself in like man, I wish I was in the video, like where I could like run up behind one of these dudes and like knock them out and be like, everybody run. And that would probably be as close as we could like get to feel. Like that's probably how Harriet felt, like freeing people. Because that's what you're doing. We're literally trying to free our people from the oppressors. I know that probably sounds so crazy, but that's literally what I be wanting. I want to run up and steal off on one of these dudes for the culture when they're not doing the right thing. It's hard to watch, man. It's absolutely hard to watch. And you know what's crazy is that I've literally had a cop draw a weapon on me for that exact same thing. Taking a shortcut. Literally. And sorry ass Gulf Breeze, Florida, right where the Circle K used to be when you would drive through town. Me, my man Philip, and my man David. walking through just from the gas station back to our homeboy's house. Freaking cops roll up, guns drawn. So we got a report that you know they saw someone breaking into buildings over here. Bro, it's black as hell out here. It's nighttime. Ain't nobody see us out here. It's 2:00 in the fucking morning, man. We're just getting some snacks. Come on. I don't be caring about that. I'm 16. David's 16. My man Phil, I think Phil's 18 at the time. Just turned 18. Got lucky. They said, since you're 18, you can go ahead and walk away. Me and David, we still getting harassed. I'm getting tossed up against the car, getting cussed out, getting called all kinds of names. Crazy shit. For what? For what? You know, the part that made me the most mad is that Buddy kept my snacks. That's one of the parts of the story I won't ever forget. Why? You didn't need to keep my snacks, bro. I hadn't eaten all day. I'm a young kid. I ain't got no damn money. I was literally raising myself at that time. Hadn't eaten all day. I finally get some fucking candy and some chips. My man gonna take it. How you gonna take my food from me, bro? You gonna try to punk me, treat me like I'm a sucker, and eat my food? Oh, white people always taking shit from us. Shit, even Doritos. Shit, for the culture. This shit is crazy, man. You think that like they can get away with that. And he he waits until another officer comes. They pat the boys down for absolutely no reason. They're not armed. They're literally not doing anything. They're walking. And they're expected to just walk away and pretend as if nothing happened. A lot of people that's out there protesting have never been in a situation where they've ever had a person pointing a gun at them. They just haven't. I low-key feel like there's some weird expectation as a black person that you're expected to keep your composure. Under those circumstances, you're still expected to keep your composure. Cop walks away like it's no big deal. They had by the time the video's done, they had 8 cop cars out there. This is just for some boys walking. It's the middle of the day too. It's not at night. It's not suspicious. It's the middle of the day. They're just walking. Walking while black. Shit is crazy, man. It's unfortunate that we have to live in a time like this, which has literally been since the night before the dawn of time, apparently. It sure as hell feels like it. Sure as hell feels like it. I'm still wondering how the people who killed Breonna Taylor, yeah, you heard it, they killed her. They killed her. If you're not familiar, police go to execute a no-knock raid. If you're unfamiliar with that, that's where they don't knock on your door. They kick it in and they go to apprehend you. Must have got the wrong address. Cops bust into the home. Boyfriend thinks there's an intruder. He fires a few shots after I think already being fired upon. Somehow, Breonna takes 8 hits. They fire, I think what I had heard was 42 shots into the room or some bullshit like that. They're killers. They have not been arrested. Only because they wear a dusty ass uniform and a fucking badge. It's pathetic, man. So pathetic. How I don't understand. And so originally when I feel like when this situation happened, the report was that they just got the wrong house. But I'm confused by that because some of these police forces have freaking, $1 million budgets. Fam, I think I still just be leasing it. Now I paid it off recently, but the GPS on here literally take me to anybody's front door. If I got beef with somebody and I want to put it in here, and then I got the address, I'll pull up right on their front door. So I'm confused as to how You're a whole police force. You guys have all this money for all these cool little gadgets and so on and so forth, but like you somehow end up at the wrong crib. That seems interesting. And then what's crazy is now we fast forward a little bit. So they dropped the report. What's cracking with the report? Maybe that'll give us some clues as to what happened and how Breonna ended up dying. It literally says that she sustained no injuries, but that can't be possible because she's dead from gunshot wounds. They won't even write up the report properly because they want to protect somebody so bad. I love that there are women who are coming out and they're the wives of a lot of these officers. And they're like, my husband has just these last couple of weeks, bitch, stop. Right there, you've already played yourself. Just the last couple of weeks, fam. I have parents. My sister has parents because we have the same parents. James has parents. Like those are people that are older than us, you know. So the number is, it's more than our number. We're all in our 30s. 30 something years of this shit. These ladies are crying because their husbands have been dealing with bullshit for a few weeks. Fam, no offense, but what y'all are going through low key is like that kind of feel like vacation. I mean, if we're just being honest, compared to the type of shit that like people just with dark skin had to like potentially endure every day, and it's that you're having to be stressed that it's going to happen every day. My sister and I didn't even grow up that bad. I don't want to speak for James, but I feel like in comparison to like you think of places like New York City, Compton, all those places, we all didn't grow up as bad as some of our other brothers and sisters. Think about the things that they go through. Think about the things that they see. And then we think about the stuff that we've gone through and what we've seen. That shit is crazy. And you got these people out here crying because it's been a couple of weeks. Brenda, come on, Brenda. Stop it. You ain't hurting. I'm not giving you no sympathy. I don't want to hear nothing about Blue Lives Matter because that's not a real thing, you smurf ass broad. Blue lives are not a thing. That's your husband's occupation. If the job is too dangerous and he don't like it and you're worried about him not making it at home, y'all need to have a conversation within your own household. Maybe it's time to apply for a new job. We've seen people out here making 70, 80 racks a year just delivering packages for Amazon. Stop pretending like there's no other options. I don't get to choose. I wake up beautiful like this every damn day and have been for 30 something years, Brenda. Brenda, your husband been going through trauma for 2.5 fucking weeks. I don't care nothing about how he feels right now. Him nor any of his friends. I hope he stays safe because I want him to be able to go home to you. And I want y'all to do whatever it is y'all do. I want that for you. But I don't want you to continue to get it twisted and think that what you're going through is somehow more important than what Black people have been enduring. Because I'll tell you like this. Your husband has multiple options. He can quit his fucking job, then he doesn't have to go through it. Or he can get on our side and he can actually start to turn in some of his buddies. They can clean this up. And then all that little stress that he's been having over the last couple of weeks, that'll go away. And fam, if your husband's not doing anything, he has absolutely nothing to worry about. And because he's not who we're after. We're not after any of y'all. We want this shit to stop. And he's somebody who can stop it. You want the stress and the trauma and the nightmares to cease? Do the right thing. Come on, Brenda. Get your shit together. Sucker. We in the chat. Brenda can get a Van Daminator just because. I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, this shit is crazy, man. You think of all the Karens that we see. The Karen pages I follow, I love it. I love it. Every morning there's a new video. I love the one where The white lady approaches the black man because he's doing something to the side of some building. Apparently, excuse me, I burped because I'm in here being gross. Hold on. So apparently she didn't like the fact that he was doing something to some building. She pretends to know who owns the building. I never saw anything that would prove or disprove whether or not he owned the building or he was just a tenant, whatever the case may be. Her name was Lisa. So Karen, aka Lisa, we'll say she's also known as Lisa, but she's actually Karen. Karen had a problem with Buddy doing something, so she's trying to be all polite. She's using that little sweet little voice, thinking that, well, if I just be nice, then, you know, maybe he'll just stop what he's doing and then we won't have any problems. But if he doesn't, you know, stop what he's doing, then I'm going to have my husband who's standing 10 feet behind me and who's recording, I'm going to have him, you know, threaten to call the cops. So it's funny because Karen lost her job. And then I read a report that said her husband also lost his, because he sat there and recorded the altercation and was kind of like egging it on. I won't understand why people feel the need to want to, like, why do you even want to say something to somebody in that moment? Like, what does that do for you? They're not bothering you. You're not involved. It's not your stuff. Why do people want to feel like they are, like they're in charge or something? And I think for some of these people, it makes them feel like they are better than like the scum that they see on TV. They probably view people who like protest and, like, you know, throw cups on the ground at fast food restaurants. like if you do things like that to them, you're like, you're garbage, you're scum, you're such a sinner. I wonder if maybe they like want to try to check people because it makes them feel better about themselves. Like, well, you know, and then I just had to go tell them, like, you know, you just can't do that here. Not in our town. Like, who are you? You're just a person that stays here. You and there's a ton of other people. You are not the only person here. You're also not in charge. And I love when they try to like sun people, like, you know, like trying to like, you know, list their like credentials or something, or like their refer to their status or some shit like that, like in some weird effort to like make the person of color feel like, you know, make it's like a reminder. Hey, real quick, I know we're about to argue and maybe haggle over something, but I still need you to know that because I'm white, I'm better than you. Lady, when you approach a person who's minding their own business, doing their own thing, and then begin to like talk to them about shit that doesn't concern you, and then you try to like throw things in their face, you realize like all you're really doing is like 2K. You know, on 2K when you're scoring and you're going crazy and like your fire meters like, you know, building up. And then once you're ready, like, you know, it means you're on fire. That's what it is, man. These people, they like come up, they start doing the most, they're running their mouth, talking shit. And then these people get tired of it and then they react. And then all of a sudden, these people are like full blown victims. This shit is so crazy, bro. So crazy. So many victims. But I hope that people keep their phones out. Record, because people, even our allies, are fed up. So people are just swinging on people. Listen, and on this show, we do not condone violence, but we're not nonviolent. We are anti-violent. All right. Always ready for action, but just hoping that it never happens. Trying to chill, trying to keep it easy, keep it light, man. Trying to be friendly with everybody. But listen, there are some of these people that they have it coming. And I don't think it's wrong to say that. You can literally see it on the videos that they're on. You see these people, you know, talking wild spicy to people that they don't even know about things that do not concern them. And black people And even some of their allies have been dealing with it for years. They're fed up. They're tired of allowing like racist people to slide with no consequences. Like I saw a video today, this poor white guy, man, he must have been like at some protest or something, and somehow he ended up getting pushed to the side where there's all the people who were protesting protesters, which is so stupid. There's literally cops standing there, and some of these redneck people are like pushing them and hitting them. Cops not doing nothing. Not doing nothing. It's crazy to me that like when you see the other side, they're getting tear gas and all these crazy things are happening. So it's like, listen, if y'all gonna pretend like y'all live in a world where there are no rules, you can't be surprised or upset when you get too close to somebody while you're at the freaking AM, PM, or the Sunoco putting gas in your freaking RAV4. When you out there talking wild spicy at pump 3, they gonna give you that 2-piece, bro. It's gonna happen. And then it's gonna be recorded because someone's gonna be right there with the camera ready, and then we're all gonna like get these laughs, man. I'm here for it. I love it. I think it's the best thing happening on the internet right now. So one of the things that helped me phase out of this funk was watching these racist people get their asses whooped. Let's get into more of this show, man. I did want to try to, at least we want to touch on some things that aren't just related to people who are racist getting beat up. I'm going to say something that might be very unpopular, but at the same time, I don't care. This is my show. You don't like this shit, turn this shit off. No one cares. I think we need to be cautious about praising white people who are publicly making it clear that they support black people in this time of need. And I don't mean like, your white friends posting on the internet or posting like places that you can help donate or do. And I'm not saying that. All that stuff is well and good. I'm talking about the people who are like, hey, at the protest, like, like always trying, like clout chasing. There's a lot of these people. And I think a lot of these people are kind of taking cues from some of their favorite celebrities. They're trying to do what they see them doing. And I'm like, that shit don't seem genuine at all. I've checked in with almost all of my friends. I see what they're doing. We've had our conversations. I give them their praise. I love them for how they move and what they do. I've talked about a handful of them just on this show. But there are some of these people that I'm seeing where I'm like, yo, your whole shit is fake, fam. It's fake. Maybe they're just doing it because they want to start getting more likes and stuff like that. But it's crazy. I don't know, man. It's like a gut feeling that I get. You can just kind of tell that it's fake from some people. But there was somebody that I did. A friend of mine, my friend Trisha. Trisha and I used to work together when I worked at the Y a long time ago. And when Trisha and I worked at a site, I remember one day, and there was myself and then another African-American girl who worked there, who's one of our people. Shout out to Kirby. But Trisha wore All Lives Matter sweatshirt to the job one day. And we tried to explain to her, it's like, it's not, and she got this from, it was like a completely different thing. It was not something that was created as a way to like, be like, no, it's not Black Lives. It's all, no, it was something for a church group or something. It was a whole thing. But I remember at the time we were kind of telling her, I was like, listen, we can maybe understand that, but you got to understand, like, fam, you work with with people of color. Like, maybe this ain't the move, especially at the time You know, there was another time where there were shootings and people losing their lives. I mean, because like I said, this is every day. It's black problems apparently. But I remember at the time Trisha was, you know, I mean, she's still a young lady, but she was younger at the time, and I don't think she understood it. And I remember telling her, I was just like, listen, at some point you will see what I'm talking about. You will get it. And you'll see why this was bad news. Water under the bridge, we apologized, kept it moving, worked together for, you know, long time after that. But recently, her and I actually had a conversation, and it was kind of cool, and it was prompted by her. And I did want to praise her for this, especially because she still is, you know, still a young lady. So, and I say that to, you know, kind of stress, you know, it's the fact that she's young, it limits the amount of experience she has with a lot of these situations. I think the events that have taken place recently in our country, especially with the fact that people have kind of been at a standstill based on COVID and being told that they need to be at home, and now you don't have anything really to do other than be on the internet all day, and then you know, soak up content from the news. But I think because of these things they were hitting, you know, a little bit harder, I think it kind of started to like hit her. And maybe it had prior to this, but she, you know, her and I did have a conversation, and she did let me know. She was like, you know, I appreciated you like telling me this stuff before and bringing it up to me. I feel like, you know, these things happening now, you know, really gave me like a full understanding of that. So I say that to say that I don't think at any point, even before, she was not somebody I never ever looked at her as somebody who was racist. Even when she wore that sweatshirt, it was more like a fam, you got to read the room. Don't wear that. Like that would be like if I wore my I love BJ's t-shirt to the job, that would be stupid. You wearing that sweatshirt was stupid. She was never, and neither myself or Kirby ever assumed or questioned her or wanted to call her racist. That was not the deal. But I will say that talking to her, it made me feel like there's at least hope for some of these people. Hope that people are getting it and they are starting to see. And there are people, I appreciate the ones who acknowledge that maybe before they were not as attentive and not as mindful of these situations that we as African Americans go through. And that now that they've seen what they've seen, you know, they feel differently. Like if you're not feeling something because of this, like, that's not good. And if what you're feeling is that you want to go protest people who are protesting against the police brutality and all that, you're just an idiot. That you're an idiot. That's it. This is not one of those things that needs to be debated. Like, you're either on the right side of history or you're not. And if you're one of the nots, you're just an idiot. What's his name? The wrestler Randy Orton. He is one of the people who has come out to say that, you know, he didn't realize it before, but realizes it now. I just don't ever know how to feel about that, because we've been watching these videos for like, bro, we can watch VHS footage of Rodney King and you can see it was messed up then. If you see people with batons and they're doing this, like all the way back and all the way down as hard as they can, that's excessive. That's not one little like, hey, chill out, and like, you know, and then cuff them and then let's go. Like, you see people out there like really trying to like Mark McGuire people's heads off. Like, come on, bro. Like, if you wanted to swing a bat at something, y'all should have tried out for the fucking baseball team growing up. You shouldn't have waited until you became a cop and just started aiming at people's heads. That shit is crazy. Watching those protest videos is crazy. I'll continue to bring it up. Like, white folks, I don't see why it's taking y'all so long to realize it. Do you not see what they're willing to do to y'all just for protesting? What do you think they'd be doing to us? Going for the kill. That shit is crazy. When you see people cocking it all the way back and giving it full force, that's excessive. They're not doing the right thing. It shouldn't take 150 freaking thousand examples. I'm trying to limit the amount of cuss words I say on this show going forward. But it shouldn't take 150,000 examples to be like, oh, that's a little too much force. Huh. Like, I mean, come on, Eric got choked out in 2014. And when people were wearing I Can't Breathe shirts and protesting and doing all that, y'all were telling people to, be quiet and let it go. Come on, man. And y'all still attaching slavery to it. That was 400 years ago. Let that go. Come on. Let that go. We gave y'all February. What else do you need? We even started letting y'all drink from the same fountain as us. We're even sharing water at this point. What else do you need? I would like Flint to actually have some effing water to drink. Clean water. That's what we need. We need things like that to get taken care of. We need people to actually start giving an F. But a lot of people really didn't start caring until you start seeing white people getting assaulted just for protesting. Just the people that are out there trying to do the right thing, which is being like, hey, cop, no, it's not okay to beat this person senseless over a broken tail light. That's not a thing that we do. This is not that serious. This is a $10 fix down at freaking O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is not that serious. And I know taillight covers are more than $10. I know that. I'm not an idiot. But my point is, you got people like losing lives over things that can be easily fixed. That's pathetic. We got to do something about that. But look at how they treat people. They're okay with stomping people, abusing people. And all they got to do is they'll cover up their name tag, make sure their face is covered up. And you're just getting mixed up by some person who's in a uniform. You don't know who it is. And even when you ask for identification, do you think they're going to give it to you? Like now, would you literally have to have your camera out and you have to quote the law to them? And it has to be on tape because you know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of the recording because the recording, once seen by people, is what ends up putting you in jail. And the last place a cop wants to be is jail, because jail is where all these people went when you put them there. And when you are, as a cop, go to jail, you're going to get torn to freaking shreds. And a lot of these guys know that they can't actually handle it because all that tough guy shit don't work when you don't have the freaking badge and on the freaking Batman utility belt that comes with it. The freaking great value Batman utility belt that they be wearing. Come on, man. How is it that we can make whole movies where we can demonstrate where you can take people down without using lethal force, but y'all can't apply that in real life? Batman doesn't kill. You mean to tell me you guys haven't taken any advice from any of those movies? We watch people do ultimate fighting all the time. They're able to submit and subdue people all the time without killing them. Not taking any notes. I mean, they look at the chokes though, but the only problem is they don't let up. Like, will that suffice? Like, was that what a person needs to do? They got to tap out in order for you to let that shit go. But then, like, if they're moving, then they're still resisting. Is that when you apply more force and then kill them because they're moving their hand or they're tapping out? Like, what is it going to take? What do we need to do? Randy Orton says, all lives do matter, but until Black lives matter, all lives can't matter. Oh no, Randy, did you write that yourself? That's my thing, is I feel like all the celebrities are all saying that right now. No, really? All lives can't matter until Black lives do matter. Oh my God. They obviously don't care, people. Stop telling them that. Just start kicking their asses. That's what it's going to take. They don't care. They're very dismissive to obvious facts and logic, and all they want to do is start drama and bullshit. There's nothing left to do but survive and protect ourselves and do everything we can every single day to educate. And if people don't want to be educated, you leave them the F alone. But if they follow you or get close, be prepared to do whatever needs to be done. Because the way people are acting now, who knows what's going to happen? We got people all across the nation all of a sudden being hung. I'm going to tell you straight like this. There's no black person on the planet who will commit suicide and do so by hanging themselves from trees outdoors for people to see. That's not a way that black people will kill themselves, because who the fuck wants to go out in the way in which white people used to send us? Ain't no one doing that. That's what they're trying to rule these things as suicides. Do you really think that those black people are just like, yeah, this looks like a good spot. I'm going to go right here in the middle of freaking town. I'm going to string myself up from this tree and we're going to call it a night, buddy. No, man, they're not doing that. That's white people doing that shit to them. Or that's police doing that shit to them. Or maybe that's gangs doing that shit to them. But it's not likely that it's gangs. How often do gangs just be hanging people down the block from City Hall? That's not a thing that happens nowadays. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it is, but it's not likely. Come on, y'all. And to see some of the comments where white people were like, oh, obviously, black people can commit suicide. You guys really think that they wouldn't do this? Do you really think that a black person is going to be like, yes, I've picked out my favorite tree. I went to Lowe's. I got only the finest of ropes and I'm ready. Do you really think that that's how black people are trying to go out hung from a tree? No, fam. Get serious. We live in a crazy time, man. We live in a crazy time. We even got a guy, Michael Henkel, a supervisor in a Philadelphia family court, tore down Black Lives Matter signs in South Philly this past weekend. Fired. Come on, bro. You literally for weeks have been watching people who look just like you get fired for them jobs by doing bullshit. Why would you go out and do this? And you're somebody who works in family court. You probably defend black people every single day in and day out. A lot of those people that you're dealing with are the underserved and underprivileged, and you're speaking for people who don't have voices. It almost makes you wonder, how many lives did he impact for the negative by maybe taking plays off during his job because he maybe cares about black people a little bit less than he does white people? Can you imagine? These people are all around us. There's literally nothing that can be done except flushing out the system. And this is kind of how you got to do it. All these people getting fired. Well, his job is open. Again, we're doing a story on this B. Simone person, a person I still have no idea who she is. On previous shows, I referred to her as Browse because that was the most significant thing about her that I knew about was she has, and they're it's not like they're overly bushy. They're just very like, wow, they're very noticeable. And she has like the gangster slits in the eyebrows. That's respect. That's old school, keeping it really 2006. Apparently, she's being accused of using plagiarized content in a book that she wrote. If you halt all the sales for your book, that means you did it, right? Because if you didn't do it, you would just come out and say, hey, I didn't do this. And then book sales would still be rolling. So you knowingly plagiarize something, you still allowed a publishing company to publish the book and put the book out, and you've begun the process of reaping the rewards and benefits from said book. Let's see, what did she steal? Says that She has stopped the sales of all her books until things are rectified. So yeah, that means you're confirming that you did it. 2 people accused her of plagiarizing their content and using it in her book about manifestation. The book helped her reach her $1 million income goal. Hey, congrats. Shout out to a young black sister. $1 million income. Shout out to you, sister. I fuck with it. Excuse my language, but shout out to you. But if you plagiarize stuff in order to get that, you're just another sucker. And it's really not even hate because everybody that's rich that's above you had to finesse in order to get to where they got. Some of the people, yeah, it's hard work. So I'm gonna tell you, listen, some people finesse. There are some people who really work hard, and there's some people who work that mouth real good in order to get to where they need to be. And listen, y'all, you can hate all you want. Maybe it sounds like I'm throwing shade, but we know that's true. There are people right now who are literally dropping to their knees in order to get an opportunity that they've been waiting for a lifetime. And I'm not even in the nasty way. I'm just talking about just selling their souls and doing dirty, grimy, scumbaggy stuff, and the other way too, probably, all to get to where they need to be. I don't think it's appropriate that people just try to cancel this girl. You know how much stuff is stolen every day in Hollywood, in the music industry, entertainment industry. That's all people do is steal. And some people just try to be like, oh, it's just parallel thinking. I thought of it too. I mean, it's impossible to think that you're the only person who could come up with one idea. There's too many of us out here. And too many of us are thinking on the same plane of existence. Like you have to realize that an idea that you may have, someone else probably already has it. It's not, at this point in our lives, it's not possible that any one person is just creating something that no one else has thought of or ever seen before. Everything is a freaking variation of something that came before it. Like, what can possibly be plagiarized about manifestation? Like, would you steal like a chant? I like the idea of like manifesting dreams, though. Really putting it out there. I want to be great. I'm going to do great things. Whatever I'm working on, said project is going to be great. I think you have to you gotta do that. Got to do that, man. It's important. I think these shows that I do are going to be great. I'm trying to do you smell it? I'm trying to smell the success. Not yet. It's close. Is it working? I don't be knowing, man. I don't be knowing. B Simone. Browse Simone. I still have not even seen her on Wild 'N Out. I wonder if she has any, like, when they do like the freestyle thing. I wonder if she has any videos of where she slayed anybody with some bars or something. I doubt it. Let's see. So I saw a post the other day. I'm going to read this. It says, excited and enthusiastic minority actors and actresses needed to hold signs at an event in Tulsa on June 20th. I wonder what that event could be. If you go to that and you're black and we see you on any type of film, videotape, or pictures holding signs at that stupid ass rally, you're corny as hell. And I think you should have to go do a stint in Guantanamo Bay just for like being a sucker, or go to Gen Pop at some, for like 5 days at like one of the craziest prisons, just for being a sucker, man. Can you believe that? They're literally advertising, hoping to recruit minorities, actors and actresses. Volunteer roles also available. Excited and enthusiastic minority actors and actresses needed to hold signs at an event in Tulsa. Send headshot resume for early consideration. This may be applied towards community service if necessary, in lieu of payment. I think this is kind of old, but even still, I wouldn't be surprised if they have something like this going around for the event on Saturday. I mean, I guess it is dated for the 20th in Tulsa. I think that top part could be, I don't know. It's probably real. Either way, can you imagine? They got people really out here paying people to go out there to look like they support this pasty orange, obese hairpiece wearing Murasaka. Yo, I bet Tyrese will be there. Full on Panther outfit. I feel like Tyrese probably want to go to some rally like that so it can be set up like a movie, and like he comes out on stage and like, you know, kicks somebody in the head and like he does something heroic. But he's like in the whole Panther outfit. You know who he looked like, kinda? And obviously, R.I.P. George Floyd. You know, brother, we're sorry you had to take this L for us to, you know, hopefully level up. You know, as we get one step closer to achieving what we've rightfully deserved since the beginning of time. But when Tyrese went to George Floyd's funeral, if you hadn't seen him, he came dressed up in like an entire Black Panther outfit, which was just so crazy. But he also kind of looked like Shaft in that outfit. I know Shaft didn't wear a hat. If you take off the hat, he literally looked like, he either looks like Shaft or he looks like someone who would be on the movie Shaft, like a knockoff Shaft or a knockoff Blade, because he don't have hair. Tyrese is always bald, and at least Wesley Snipes had hair, but it's Black Panther, Shaft, and Blade all had a threesome and then somehow had a baby. It was what Tyrese pulled up in at George Floyd's funeral. Obviously, it's no shade at Floyd. RIP, bro. I hate that he had to take the L for this. We should not have to be doing all of this just to get them to freaking ease up on some of the excessive force. Rashard Brooks didn't have to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Sleeping in the car. Now my man's sleeping in the freaking grave. Come on, man. Like, he got kids. He got a family. He got all kinds of stuff. Y'all killed him because he's sleeping in the car. Get out of here. I deserve better. I read somewhere that old guy in Buffalo, the 75-year-old protester, that people aren't really sure if he was, you know, purposely down there looking for trouble or if he was really out there supporting Black people and then just was, you know, ended up being collateral damage. But they're saying that he does have a, you know, like a cracked or fractured skull and like now can't walk or something like that. There is definitely a video that I watched with my own eyes where he was in a conversation with a group of people who were protesting, and they were actually very upset with him because when they asked him why he was going down there or why he had been down there, he had said it's because he was looking for fun. He thought that shit was fun. Now, obviously what happened to him is very unfortunate, but fam, if you were looking for fun, this is not so fun now, is it? So I'm saying, man, you have people who are going down there for the wrong reasons and just trying to do the wrong thing. And there's people really ending up compromised down there, getting hurt, dying behind this. People getting hit in the head with rubber bullets, going blind. There were multiple, you know, stories of people going blind because they were hit in the head with pepper spray or rubber bullets or whatever the case may be. Look at what lengths they'll go to like argue that we should like be loved and respected. They're like, no, we can't have that happen, and we're willing to kill you for it. Oh my God, law enforcement's a trip, bro. It's a trip. I'm going to read this thing today. I thought this was funny. So it says, sometimes it can be hard to separate your feelings from a situation close to you in order to properly understand what is going on. So try this out. Remember in the Hunger Games when the old man in District 11 was shot in the head because he whistled the Mockingjay song? Do you remember that? Probably. When the uprising started after that, which side did you take? Did you support Snow because the people destroyed things, or did you support the rebellion because enough was enough? Don't be a liar. No one fucking supported the Capitol. Don't act like this is any different. Mic drop. It's true, man. You know what's crazy? There were people that I watched those movies with that literally, literally, I bullshit you not. Literally talking about, I don't really see what the big deal is. You what? You don't see what the big deal is? You think that this type of stuff is just okay? As long as it don't happen to them, they don't really have a reason to care. Listen, you should want to put a stop to this so we never have to see Tyrese in that Black Panther outfit ever again. That should be enough. We shouldn't have to go through all of this. Shouldn't have to be Breonna, Ahmad, George, Rashard, Eric, Manuel. I mean, name them. Trayvon, Tamir. Who else? God, Tamir would have been graduating high school this year. He's a part of the 2020 class. Can you believe it? Didn't even get the opportunity because some bozo thought he had a piece on him. Decided to take his life. It's unfortunate. Yo, tell me why there's a lady. Looks like they're at some town hall meeting. And I guess the lady speaking on a colleague that was reprimanded for a racist joke. And then while she's standing up in front of what looks to be like town hall members or something, or whatever, she starts using racial slurs or language. Of course, there's some black lady who doesn't walk up to do something, but walks up to educate her. And of course, what's the cop do? He walks up to her. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do nothing to her. I'm just telling her, because you don't want to have to yell and scream across the entire freaking room to communicate thought with a person. If she wants to act like a bozo, we're gonna get up close, make sure she hear it the first time we say it. It was crazy in front of all those people. And I love, obviously, you know me, I love a good apology. I love when they go, listen, it's not what I meant. And listen, I've lived a very long time and I know a lot of black people. I did not mean to say the N-word, but sometimes some of these people, they can be the N-word. That's all I'm saying. It's not all of them. I know the girls that I play bingo with, they're just the sweetest. Like, it's weird how they'll try to fill it up and try to justify it, but while still trying to tell you that we are these things. How can you say you like people, but then you want to treat them like that or call them that? Like I said, I love the apologies. I didn't mean it. Please know that this is not who I am, and under any other circumstances, I would have never said that. I had a moment of weakness and I didn't know what to do. Please don't ruin my life. I'm young. I don't know any better. I just didn't have these experiences growing up, so I just didn't know. I just didn't know to send a text message that said that I hate N-words or like F these N-words or like when they call us monkey. Like, you know not to say those things. You literally learn when you're a kid. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. You're literally told that for years and years and years. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm just somebody who tries to find the humor in everything. It's funny. Some of it's funny. Some of how dumb people are is funny. That's what makes it funny. How dumb they are. Not what they say or not what they do. That's just not funny. I don't ever want to see anybody I know getting disrespected or called out or anything. That's awful. But some of the shit that people say is funny because of how stupid they are. Oh, tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow will probably be a great day for good content. I'm sure right now, as we speak, videos are being created because people are being stupid. And I love it. Well, Supreme Court rules that all LGBTQ workers are protected from job discrimination. Even stuff like that, man. Why is that something that they're begging for? Why do people have to beg to like not get disrespected at their job? Like, come on, man. That's like a place where all different types of people work. Like, people need to come to the job with a certain level of respect for everybody. Like, you shouldn't, and you shouldn't, we shouldn't still be in a place where we have like certain people asking for that and not getting it while other people are. That shit is crazy. Come on, man. This is crazy. And it's super dope that they got that. But I'm like, yo, why are they even having to beg for that? It's crazy to think that there are actually people who will sit in the room and be like, well, I don't know. Do we want to treat them good? Like, I don't know. What if we treat them too good? And then all of a sudden they're just like expecting us to be nice all the damn time. What if I want to discriminate against these people at this job? What if this is like, I can't discriminate at home because everybody at home looks like me? When am I going to have time to discriminate? Only at the job because everybody's different. So this is I don't want to give that up just yet. Like, there are people who are literally in the rooms acting like that. Acting like that's like how they really feel. Like, you're okay with people just being treated like shit at a job. Like, the fact that we have to argue for things like this and debate and beg. What a wonderful way to celebrate Pride Month. Shout out to everybody who's celebrating Pride Month. Shout out to my beautiful mother. What's cracking, Vaughn D? Me and Vaughn D must be beefing. Vaughn won't return my call. I think she's upset. Probably something I did. I don't know. I don't know. People just be mad at me, bro. I don't be knowing. It is what it is, cuz. Let's see. This is funny. Footage shows Chicago officers making popcorn in the congressman's office. And this all happened while people were outside rioting. Shouldn't have had that popcorn. Y'all, listen, it's cool to have snacks while you at work. But we got situations outside, and y'all are just in a random office building, just chilling, eating up their popcorn. Now, it's not even your popcorn. That popcorn belonged to somebody else. You taking food out of other people's mouths. Not out there saving the people, protecting and serving like you're supposed to be. You just in the house eating popcorn. This is crazy. They even got footage of people with like laying back, feet kicked up on the desk, cold chilling, being on their cell phones. This is crazy. And it still shocks me the amount of people who are so upset because of how we're talking about the cops. And it's like, but this is the thing. If sorry, my shirt all tangled. If you're doing your job the way that you're supposed to do, then we ain't talking about you, right? You have no reason to be offended because this man, it's not about you. If you're actually going to work and doing your job properly every day, treating people with respect and actually protecting and serving the areas in which you patrol. If you're doing all those things, you have nothing to worry about. You can't be offended. There's no reason to be like, well, my brother's in blue. Like, no. Because if you say that and you know that some of them are doing the wrong thing, then you're openly admitting that you support doing the wrong thing. They can't be your brothers, fam, because your brothers wouldn't put you in some bullshit like that. Understand? Shit happens. Brothers get caught up. But to get caught up over and over and over again, nah, F that. Repeat offenders, all the time this stuff happening. You know how funny it was to watch that little midget police officer in New York give that little speech about how they were tired of being disrespected, and then literally the next day somebody chopped up a whole thing where it's Buddy giving the speech, and then they're just showing clips of the New York City Police Department harassing and abusing power over and over and over again. Get out of here. People that walk beside them, if you are not doing these things, you have nothing to worry about. But if you're not openly speaking out against this stuff and turning these people in, then you can't be mad when people are walking around saying defund the police and get rid of them and do all these things. Like, come on, man. Y'all sent police out for a welfare check and then a dude end up losing his life behind that over a welfare check. You're supposed to check on. Second you check on, if he say good, or if he's even presenting the option of, well, my sister lives down the street, I could just walk over there. I opted to sleep here because I didn't want to drive home drunk because I didn't want to do nothing stupid. If anything, you should be like, oh yeah, that's smart thinking. We commend you for that, bro. Help him get home. Help him get home. I bet if he was white, shit, y'all would have helped him get a ride home, or shit, maybe you would have even taken him home. Maybe. But I know you wouldn't have killed him. You know how I know? I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine. And I hope he doesn't get mad that I'm kind of putting out his business. I'm not going to say his name. Why a few years ago. And it happened when he left the party at this little bar / nightclub that was down the street from where we stayed at. It's like a little frat thing that he was a part of. He ended up having too much to drink. Cop was in the parking lot, saw him walk out of the building. The one thing we always said is, why didn't the cop take his keys? He didn't. He told him to sit on the curb. My man still got in the car. He drove down the street and then he pulled him over. And then he booked him like normal and did all these things. I mean, this is a situation where cops are stopping my man in the parking lot. They check in with him. He actually does the right thing and doesn't drive the car away at all. But somehow y'all end up wrestling him and he ends up dying. I mean, I'm glad that nothing happened to my friend, but yeah, of course, my friend was white. He literally was told directly to his face not to go anywhere. He still did it anyway. He could have put many lives on the line. Only thing they did was they pulled him over. They did their jobs. They pulled him over, apprehend him, book him, cuff him, do all the things, take him to jail like you're supposed to, book him for DUI, and you call it in. You don't have to kill him behind that shit. Come on, man. Stop saying that it's not different. It is. Absolutely 100% different. It's pathetic. But anyway, we hope for better days for tomorrow. Hope by the time we have a show on Thursday that there will be more things to talk about, man. More friendly stuff, man. You know, it's crazy. Have some people close to me who are, celebrating new life within their family. Those are the things that we should be talking about and being excited for. A lot of places are opening up. A lot of people are getting back to work and starting to feel a little bit of normalcy in their lives. I mean, that's something that can be celebrated. Uh, like I said, we're not taking our foot off the gas. That's why I'm gonna keep bringing it up. This shit needs to change, and forever, and for the better, and not just change to where it fits somebody else's agenda and then they find a new way to finesse us. You need to actually change this police crap because you see how they be acting, even with all the protests, and see how they were acting. Y'all have all the proof y'all need to nip this thing in the butt. Take care of it. Let's go, man. That way we can get back to actually celebrating life and being happy. No, there's no need to be upset all the damn time, but it is what it is, man. We had a wonderful show. I thank you for joining me. I'm going to be back on Thursday, man. Oh, okay, so here. I have 5 minutes. I got a bike today. And so I'm trying to get my cardio up because I want to, running is good, and doing stairs is good and it's helpful. But I figure if I get a bike, I live in an area of Seattle where you can just cruise your bike around and get to just about anywhere. And I want to be able to go to the parks and play basketball this summer because it's not likely that we're going to be playing indoors because I don't know what the deal is, man. They don't want to open up the damn gyms. But anyway, so I got a bike today. And I've been thinking about it for the last couple of weeks, but I basically had pulled the trigger on this last night with no hesitation. Usually I'm someone who hesitates a lot when it comes to decisions like this. I probably should definitely hesitate considering the last time that I actually rode a bike with some frequency, I was actually hit by a car while I was on said bike. You know what? I've conquered my fears. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a story about perseverance. I'm not even going to bore you with the details, but just know that if I can overcome a devastating fear, it really was not that bad. I'm riding up my bike. I'm going, I'm literally on the sidewalk, and there's a car coming up, a steep little, little incline, whatever. They come up a little bit too quick. I happen to go right in front of them at the perfect time. They hit my back tire. I end up flying into some bushes. I sustained several injuries. Buddy was a nice guy, though. He took me home that day and even called my boss. I didn't think my supervisor was going to believe me. There was one time where I was like deathly ill. They still made me come to work. And just to show them I wasn't playing, it was like half, like it kind of just worked out in my favor. But I kept telling, I was like, yo, I don't really feel that good. Oh, you seem fine. You'll be okay. I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm about to throw up. No, it'll be fine. Just go outside and get some fresh air if you need it. Yo, I threw up all over that damn Subway. This is when I worked at Subway in college. But yeah, I didn't think Buddy was going to believe me. So I had my, the guy who hit me on the bike, I had him call. And he was just like, yo, you got an employee that works there. I just hit him with my car. He on the bike. I took him home. He's cool. Nice guy, man. But yeah, that was crazy. Ever since then, I have not, I've ridden a bike a few times, maybe down the street or something, but I haven't been someone who's like, yeah, grab my helmet, man, and I'm just going to grab my bike and go for a quick ride. I'm not, I'm too scared for all that. So I have up on my phone on the Safari browser, I've been browsing all the laws and the rules and stuff. I make sure I'm being safe, but I'm giving it within a week. 2 weeks tops, I'll probably have been hit by a car. So this could be one of the final shows. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, man? With me, you never know. It's going to be real. Or I'll just have a lot of success. It's just a bike, man. I can't imagine anything crazy is going to happen, but I got a gray helmet. And so I'm going to take some pictures when I get the helmet because I thought of it today. I have a feeling that if I stand up perfectly straight with my arms to my side, the gray helmet will just make me look like a gigantic Black and Mild that's already lit. Think about that And then imagine me with the gray helmet on, man. I'm going to see you guys on Thursday. This is the Minkle Jackson Show. If you listen on Track Talk Radio, man, we're about to get into this music. You're about to hear some, let's see, we got some Ludacris Fat Rabbit, and then you're going to hear Luda's Sex Room, and then we might close out with some Trey songs. But, shout out to my man, James Gatlin. Brother, I love you. I miss you. Hope I see you soon. Shout out to my sister. Same thing. I love you. I miss you. I hope I see you soon. We have family in here. We always like, I hung out with my family today, which is super dope because I haven't seen them or hung out with them in a long time. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Share this with all your friends. Tell everybody you know that people probably know me too, but tell all those dusty ass people that I'm about to be famous. Well, as long as I don't get hit by this fucking car, I'm telling you, I'm probably going to get hit by a car on this bike because I'm a very sketchy bike rider. And I'm an easy target because I'm going to be the only person riding around Seattle who's big as hell on a bike. It's going to look like a big gorilla on one of those small little circus bikes. That's how it looks like when I'm on a bike. And I'm going to look like a gigantic black and mild. It's going to be lit. Hey, shout out to James. We'll be back on Thursday. I appreciate that, bro. Yo, tell Lisa I said what's up, dog. I love Lisa. Love her to death. All right, y'all, man. I'm out. Like I said, if you're on Track Talk Radio, get ready for this music. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to just see your ass on Thursday. That's it. It's over. I'm done.